Ever wonder what Earth was like when our planet was a giant, steamy greenhouse? Let's travel back in time, not just thousands, but millions of years, to a world so warm there were palm trees in the Arctic and crocodiles swimming off the coast of Greenland. Welcome to the Eocene Epoch, a fascinating chapter in Earth's history that lasted from about 56 to 34 million years ago. Picture this. No ice caps at the poles and sea levels so high that much of what we know as dry land today was underwater. This wasn't a barren, hot wasteland, though. It was a thriving, vibrant paradise. Dense, lush forests covered almost every continent, from the equator all the way to the polar regions. These weren't just any forests. They were filled with the ancestors of the flowering plants we see today, creating vast, green canopies that were home to an explosion of new life. And what about the animals? Well, after the dinosaurs bowed out, the Eocene was when mammals really had their moment to shine. It was like a massive evolutionary party, and everyone was invited. Imagine tiny, dog-sized horses, no bigger than a golden retriever, galloping through the undergrowth. These were the dawn horses, or Eohippus, and they were just getting started on their long journey to becoming the majestic animals we know today. But the real drama was happening in the water. Some land mammals were thinking, "You know what? I'm tired of walking. I think I'll go for a swim." And they didn't just dip their toes in, they went all in. This is when the very first whales appeared. Creatures like Pakicetus, which looked a bit like a furry, four-legged crocodile, were taking the first steps, or rather, paddles, towards a fully aquatic life. They were the pioneers, the brave adventurers who would eventually give rise to the giants of the deep. It's an incredible story of transformation. A land animal returning to the sea and conquering a whole new world. And it wasn't just horses and whales. The Eocene was the cradle for many of the mammal groups we recognize. The first primates, our own distant ancestors, were leaping through the treetops. They were small, lemur-like creatures, beginning the long, intricate story of primate evolution. At the same time, the first bats took to the skies, mastering flight and filling the night with their clicks and chirps. The air, the land, and the sea were all buzzing with innovation. The continents themselves were still on the move. India was on its final dramatic collision course with Asia, a slow-motion crash that would eventually crumple the Earth's crust to form the mighty Himalayas. This continental drift was rearranging the world map, changing ocean currents and weather patterns, and constantly creating new environments for life to adapt to. The world was in a constant state of flux, and life was responding with incredible creativity. Even the smaller creatures were making big leaps. Modern insect groups were establishing themselves, pollinating the flourishing new flowers and becoming a crucial part of these new ecosystems. In the warm oceans, coral reefs expanded, and marine life was incredibly diverse, with countless species of fish, sharks, and early marine mammals. So, why is the Eocene so important? It was a critical bridge between the ancient world of dinosaurs and the modern world of mammals. It was a time of extreme warmth, a natural experiment in what happens when the planet's thermostat is turned way up. It shows us how life can thrive and diversify in conditions very different from our own. The Eocene laid the evolutionary groundwork for the world we live in today. The animals that got their start in these ancient, steamy forests are the ancestors of the creatures that walk, swim, and fly on our planet right now. It's a powerful reminder that our world has a deep, dynamic history, and every epoch, every era has left its mark. The story of life on Earth is a continuous saga of change, adaptation, and resilience. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey back to the incredible Eocene Epoch. If you enjoyed this trip through time, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the deep past. See you next time.